generally speaking, are you optimistic about Jersey? Or is it? What do you think about it?
Not particularly.
No. And for your family, what do they think?
My father had an expression which I think describes it. He used to say things were going to hell in a handbasket.
Yes.
And I think that's exactly what's happening here, because with due respect to the members of the states, I'm not pointing the finger at anyone in particular, but I don't think they know what the hell they're talking about.
No. It's strange. It is a very strange phenomenon, isn't it, Jersey? Because it is a small community, and they have to make a living doing something. But it does seem a pity that they have got quite so lumbered with that one big industry, finance, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're so vulnerable.
Well, the farming industry, again, is rather like the tourism industry. It got kicked sideways when all the produce from the Canary Islands and places like that started pouring into Jersey, into England,
Right.
which is where the majority of our fruit and veg come from.
Right.
Because it's only shipped over from
Right.
the markets on the mainland to here.
What sort of year did you initially arrive here?
60.
1960.
1960.
Right. And did you marry here, or were you married already?
I got married here, yes,
Right.
at St Martin's.
So you saw the high point of tourism. That was when it went.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It was quite exceptional, wasn't it? The amount of activity.
Yes. Tourism. I mean, I can remember the day when there'd be pictures in the Evening Post of all the honeymoon couples staying at the Merton.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, but there'd be a picture
Right.
like this
Yeah.
of sort of 100 couples
Yeah.
or whatever staying at the Merton because they had their honeymoon special or whatever
Exactly.
they called it.
That's right. That's right.
And places like the Ritz on the corner up the road
Yeah.
completely disappeared now.
That's right.
And,
And
flats.
The one next door to it is the Metropole's about to go as well. That's going to be yes. So that huge.
I think one of the worst things in this island is the fact that they are allowing people to pull down buildings and build flats and offices, and then they sit empty.
Right. Were you ever a property owner in Jersey?
My wife and I had a house up in St Peters.
Right. I mean, obviously, when you came, 60s, they were in theory affordable. But what do you make of it now? I mean, a house now, £500,000 per house. It's have you got young enough people to be concerned in that in your family?
It just means purely and simply that the local Jersey child, shall we say, cannot afford to have a place to live.
Right.
Of their own, cannot afford to buy a house unless they're lucky enough to win a lottery somewhere. Because they just can't afford it.
Do you think do you think that is a solvable problem? Would you guess it is? Because obviously there's a reason. There must be reasons why it is like that. But
well, I think there's to be honest, there should be a law saying, right, you have got 10 flats, all 10 one-bedroom flats, and a one-bedroom flat you can charge X pounds per week for it. You've got 10 two-bedroom flats. Now the rent for a two-bedroom flat is so and so, and that's the maximum you can charge until the law changes it,
right.
so that it's equal to the massive people who have got
Right.
hundreds of flats, or bad quality flats too.
Right. Of course, they tried things like price control years ago. They abandoned all those sort of things. They didn't.
But I think they've not only got to bring back price control, but they've got to bring back quality control. Yeah. Because I mean, from what I've heard of some of the flats, it's just ridiculous.
Very small. This October there will be elections. Will you vote? Do you vote?
Oh, I vote every election.
Yeah. Right.
And I
have you ever been satisfied with the vote that you've delivered? The man has done, or the woman?
I go and I vote. I sort of before the read up or try. I used to read up on what everyone
Right.
said and everything, and I would make my judgments. And then, if there were 6 people to be elected, and I could only, in my mind, honestly vote for 2, I would vote for 2.
Right.
I wouldn't vote for 6.
You don't just cast every vote just
I don't
because...
just cast every vote.
No.
I cast votes for people who I think should be in the States.
Right.
And I just hope people would do the same, because although they say, oh, well, my vote won't count, it does count.
Do you regret not being taking up on the Marquand's suggestion that you should stand?
At times, yes.
Yeah.
But mind you, if I had then, I might have been all right when he was there.
Right.
But because he was so well respected, not by particularly the States members, but by the island.
Right.
I mean, he was a Jerseyman. He was an islander.
Right.
If you know what I mean. He was known by everybody in the island. And they couldn't throw him out or anything.
Which part of the world are you actually from?
New Zealand.
Oh, really? Oh, so you couldn't be much further away.
No.
No.
But there are times I think, yes, if I'd been in, I might be all right. But then again, I feel that when I read about what goes on in the States, that have thrown me out.
Yeah.
The States would have thrown me out for some reason or other, the way they do tend to throw out their members who don't agree with them.
Exactly. Well,
Because
yes.
they seem to have a way of finding an excuse to get rid of a rebel, shall we say.
Well, I've just been listening to Stuart Syvret in court today, funny enough.
It's funny you should say that when I said rebel, isn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Did you have any instant view on Stuart? What do you think happened?
Well, I thought at the beginning he was a breath of fresh air. I really did. But I think he started to try and go too far too fast. And because of that, he trod on too many toes.
But as far as you're concerned, you still find him an acceptable sort of person? I mean, personally, do you think...
Well, yes, I mean, from what I know of him,
Yeah.
I never read up or followed
Right.
the reason why he got thrown out. When something like that comes along, I think, oh, politicians.
Yeah, right.
And I just push the paper to one side sort of thing and well, let them get on with it, you know, because in those sort of cases, my vote is not going to count, because they've made their minds up that they're going to get rid of Senator Syvret, and my voice, you know, is sort of crying in the wilderness, so to speak.